Morning, Majo, John Madden in my camper van. Something like 9 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday the 9th. And this is part 2 of my little diatribe about right relationship, the Buddhist principle of right relationship. And I started with what's the right relationship to shooting this video. The bay is very beautiful out there, but when I tried to focus on the bay, I was getting all glare. I don't know what it looks like now, but I was getting all glare, and I said they'll have to put up with looking at me. The right relationship with this morning has included not walking along the seawall. I did that at 3 in the morning and everything was totally calm, but maybe you can see how incredibly turbulent it is down there. And you literally can, by showing your ID at the checkpoint at the gate there, walk down there. Anybody can walk down there, but not today. And 2 guys actually did. I saw 2 guys standing on the seawall here with ponchos, rain ponchos, and they just walked through all that, leaning into it. They had to lean hard because I thought, guys, you're going to be swept away. I think I would be swept away. They were stronger, so they managed to get back to their post because that's a Navy pier down there. I got a video. There's a 1-minute video that I took from the side of the van here, showing all that turbulence from outside the car. So earlier at 3 in the morning, I did part 1 of right relationship, and at the end of that video, I described how I had created a right relationship with a little family that this morning at 2 in the morning when I woke up, the grandfather, I thought, and the mom and the little 5-year-old son, I found that out later that he's 5, were fishing out here. And it was totally calm at that time and totally dark. So I described at the end of that first video that the right relationship with them meant they're busy fishing. They're focused out there on the water. Don't ask them to focus on you. So I kind of crept out of the van stealthy-like in order to not disturb them, and it didn't. They didn't even notice me and went about their business fishing. But as about, I don't know, 30 seconds or a couple minutes after I got out of the van, right along here, close to the van, the little boy looked at me and I said, boom, this is the right moment to greet them. And I said, Buenos dias to him. And he said that back. And then his grandfather, I thought at the time, said Buenos dias also. So I was giving myself kudos for having had the right relationship with them. Then, right after I shot that 3 a.m. video down there, I encountered the boy and his mom way down over there along the seawall, still calm, and had another interaction with them. And it was fun. She was smoking, and she said, "Are you a smoker?" And I said, "Yeah, I am. I just had one." And I pulled out my pack of Camels here. Camels. And Camels are an upgrade for most people around here. They're shit cigarettes, basically, by American standards, but really cheap by American standards, because one of the really foolish things the U.S. government has done has been to try to stamp out smoking by taxing the hell out of cigarettes. And what that's done is it's gotten the middle class to give up cigarettes and gotten the poor people to get a whole lot poorer because they're not ready to, they need the cigarettes. And artists and people who are too expansive like me need our cigarettes. We need that traditional native herb of tobacco to ground ourselves, and it really helps me. And in the US you can get, for a whole lot of money, really wonderful non-additive cigarettes, American Spirits, and a couple of other brands also. But American Spirits is the primary one. And they're available at any convenience store in the US pretty much for $8, or in Chicago, $16, $12 to $16 a pack. In Mexico, cigarettes are like 60 to 80 pesos, which is like 2 cents American. So poor people in Mexico don't suffer from their habit of cigarettes as much. But Camels are more like 85 pesos and Marlboros are like 65 pesos. And so Roxanna, who I met this morning, was smoking Marlboros. She and her husband, turned out that it was her husband. That's the third encounter. So I had the second encounter. She was smoking and she said, "Do you smoke?" And I said, "Yeah, I just had one," and pulled out my pack of Camels, and her eyes kind of lit up. I said, you want a... She was still smoking, but I said, "Do you want a Camel?" And she took one for later, or maybe just had it immediately once she finished the first one. So it was fun. I had a nice little encounter with him. The son was adorable and a lot of fun and wanted to engage with me, because kids in Mexico, never having been trained to be afraid of strangers, very readily engage with strangers and want to play and have fun with you, if it looks like you're going to be a fun person, which I tend to. So good things were happening with her son. He told me his name, which was a name that's new to me, and I'm going to have to find out from them, because he and his father have the same name, and I couldn't quite, my ear wasn't catching it. So she told me that they're going to return to fish again tonight at 11. I thought, oh, she wants to see me again. That's nice. I had her being single at that point with her father, Abuelo, but no. So that was nice, and I came back to my car and had some fantasies about what might happen with Roxanna. And then, as I was in the car, half hour, an hour later, she shows up again with the little boy and her husband. So I had to, okay, let's reshuffle our agenda there. I ended up having a super magical encounter with them, very extensive. We talked a lot. The boy really wanted to play with me, and that was fun. And I said, it was all still calm at that time. I said, I need to go over to the OXXO store, which is right down there. Not the appealing OXXO store right now. There's another OXXO behind me over that way, which is more sheltered, but not enough shelter that I could get there this morning. Because as soon as I got away from the hotel, I got literally blown into the street. So I went back to the hotel and got my coffee there. But with them, we walked over to the OXXO and I bought them coffee. I think they're pretty poor. None of them is working right now. Sounds like they have a house somewhere here in Veracruz, probably a small little apartment. But we had a lot of fun at the OXXO. The OXXO, although it's a 24-hour store, like so many stores like that down here in Mexico, the OXXOs and the X24s, at night, they're not literally quite open. You can talk through a little window in the door and order what you want. So we each got coffee, and the boy got a chocolate milk. And he's into being tough, and he likes to scare. He'll show off how tough he is by, he had a little clothespin, and he'd clip it on his tongue or on his cheek. He was hamming it up. And he was into scaring me, being a tough guy, in a very adorable, cute way. And he did that over there a lot. Chased me around the big garbage can out front, and I played like I would tengo mucho miedo. I always say tengo hambre, which is I'm hungry. Miedo is scared. I'm scared. So, no, and I'd run away and I'd scream, and it was all super fun. And they said, actually, we're coming back at midnight tonight. And I had already, when I was thinking it was going to be me and Roxanna and the grandfather, I had made up a sign to put in the window here saying, "Roxanna, if I'm sleeping when you come by at 11, open the door and give me a call. Say, John, wake up, despierta." And my first version of that note, I was going to put a second sentence, a clause that said, "Or come on in to the van, and your son can stay out with Granddad." But I decided, no, that's not the right relationship with her. She might be thinking that, and if she had been single, she might be. But now I know she's not. But I thought even if she's thinking that, that's the wrong next step. That's not the place to go next. So I just left that sentence out. But when they showed up and I was saying, oh, I was going to put a note on the door saying, knock and give me a call. And I did. I said, now he's saying they'll come at midnight. And I'm almost certainly going to be asleep. And I said, the door won't be locked. And if I close it too tight, it's real hard to open it. But if I close it very lightly, it opens well. And I said, just open the door and yell, John, despierta, wake up. And I think they'll do that tonight. So that was all great. Great. And we talked about dancing. They like to dance. I told them that Alvarada, look at these people. He's taking pictures of her. Muy duro. Very strong. They're strong people. They don't even have rain ponchos or anything. That's amazing. I've been noticing that people, if they go right next to the hotel over here, see the way those signs are bopping around there? But it looks like if people stay right next to the hotel, it's not too bad. And when I go back into the hotel to load this and other videos, this car just came out from the wharf there. The big garbage truck came down and stopped here. I said, don't do it, guys, don't do it. And they didn't. They thought better and just went around the corner. So new friends, Roxanna and her husband and their son. I like them a lot. They're very cute. And obviously devoted to each other and really sweet with the boy, who is adorable and just fresh and innocent. Not angry, not tense. Mexican kids are so relaxed because they are doted on. They are loved and touched and listened to by usually at least 2 generations. Usually grandparents are involved in the rearing of the child, and various tias or tios, aunts and uncles, all kinds of people who all listen and really make the child so special. I made a video the other day that I think isn't up yet about how in Mexico, women who by American standards are not attractive, they're heavy, maybe quite heavy, and not magazine style looks, feel hot and radiate, I'm hot, in Mexico. Adorn themselves, do up their eyes real nice the way women like to do in Mexico. Even cashiers in the grocery store or in the convenience store have their eyes done really nice. And wear cool clothes, not expensive clothes, but cool clothes, and got their tattoos and piercings, which are more of a thing in Mexico than the U.S. Yeah, women who in the U.S. might be not liking themselves because they don't fit the norm of what pretty is. In Mexico, I'm hot. And they have attitude, they have attitude. And I think it's mostly because there's much more liberal standards as what's attractive in Mexico. People aren't into the middle class norms. And because they got raised so well that they have really good self-concept. And because they, from the very beginning, were interacting with everybody out there, not just family, they're at ease. And they just flaunt themselves. So that's a really cool part about Mexico. Right, relationship. Oh, the topic I was starting this it's going to be too long. I'm going to break this and do part 3, which is about what's the right relationship with myself and my life. How do I think about, look at, relate to this unique person that is me? So we'll make another video about that. I'll give you one last little visual. Maybe I step out of the car. Take the risk, take a risk of stepping out of the car, getting into the wind, but mostly I'm sheltered by the hotel and by my car. But let's give you a good visual of this spectacular day. Look at those palm trees. Look at those palm trees blowing, 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 blowing. Somebody out on the balcony in the hotel. If you go around the corner for a ways, while you're still in the shelter of the hotel, you're fine. But once you get past that magic spot, I literally got blown into the street. And then over here, got the seawall. That's a statue. That is not a person. Here's a person in the shelter of the hotel, getting his videos of this amazing morning. The weather, I've been here like 9 days today, and the weather mostly has been quite stunning, sunny, warm. I spent 3 months in Xalapa, which was cold and rainy and dark. See how this car does on the seawall, on the wharf. Just driving right in. Maybe he's got some kind of a decal on his car that says he's okay out there. The garbage truck didn't want to go. Big heavy garbage truck. Well, they would have had to get out of the garbage truck to get the garbage. What a day this is. Special, very special day. Special weather. We had a day that was almost this windy a few days ago, and I thought, is this a hurricane blowing in? And I said, January, man. No hurricanes in January. Okay, bye.